Talk about the blunder from down under. An Australian man reported finding live maggots in the pre-cooked chicken he'd purchased from his local supermarket. Unfortunately, he found them after he'd eaten several bites. Ew. There are some things that you never want to experience, and today we're going to talk about them in a way that could possibly save your life. Well, before getting to some new definitions of extra special as relates to food purity, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me on the top spot for Coffee with a Cleric on the internet. My coffee cup is clean, and so is today's lesson. You know, my goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know Him and His Word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and then share this with a friend. You know, when you or I drop into our local fast food joint for a quick bite of lunch, the waitress might ask if you want lettuce and tomato on your burger, but you'll never get the question, did you want a clean plate? I mean, of course you do. Even getting asked the question would raise serious concerns in your mind about the choice of restaurants, right? I mean, mostly clean is not the standard we hope for in restaurants or public restrooms or laundry baskets. I mean, nobody puts clean food on dirty plates or clean laundry on top of the clothes that still need to be washed. If everything isn't clean, then none of it really is. I mean, our Australian friend would not have been comforted by the knowledge that the container holding the maggot-infested chicken was clean. Well, whether you found a frost-bitten frog in your bag of frozen peas or a fingertip in your ice cream, the experience just turns your stomach. I know of a woman in the UK who was mystified by the lumpy consistency of the Asda extra special curry sauce that she had just poured into a pan. Then she discovered how a mouse had apparently lived out the final moments of its life, drowning in curry. It wasn't the extra special touch of flavor she'd been hoping for. Nobody likes pollution, not of any sort. We all prefer clean and fresh, new and unused. Well, today's verse says, "May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord." God prefers His followers to be pure too. The process of people getting that way and staying that way, well, it's pretty much the same as the process for food factories getting that way and staying that way. If you don't begin at the source, sooner or later you'll have problems with the delivered product. Now, with factories, you've got to be diligent about getting them completely clean to begin with, and then the process of preparation has to maintain high standards, as does the cleanup afterwards. Some things are going to be messy. But messy, dirty, well, those aren't the same things. When my wife makes banana bread, she starts with clean counters, bowls, and pans. Clean and properly fresh ingredients make for a delicious outcome. And once the bread mixture is baking in the oven, the work area and the prep tools all get thoroughly washed. Well, it's no different with people, most especially with people who walk with God. We need to begin by getting thoroughly cleaned before we're ready to be used. But just living life gets the dirt and the muck of the world on us, and we need to get cleaned up after we've been used. Staying clean is an ongoing process. To maintain our cleanliness and purity, we need to guard our hearts and monitor our mouths. Mostly clean is never an acceptable standard. Stephen Force of Oxfordshire, England, discovered a dead mouse in the loaf of bread he bought from a local bakery. A little filth ruins the whole loaf. Catherine Ortega from Newport News, Virginia, found a deep-fried chicken head nestled among her McNuggets. We need to regularly come to God and deal with the messes within us and ask Him to forgive us and cleanse us. You and I are called to serve God and advance His kingdom. Let's remember the first rule of serving well. Use a clean plate. Hey, we're almost out of time for today. Just enough left for me to ask if you'll help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them to get to know Him and His Word personally and better. Please like this video. It'll help more people see it. Then click follow or subscribe so you and I can get together every day. You may have your own crazy food story to share. I know I have a lot more, but I just didn't have time for them. Pop something in the comments section. Tell me about a lesson you learned. And one more thing. Share this with a friend, would you? Because as you do, you're part of the team touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.